Hello and welcome to the back nine of round 2 of the Discraft Ledgstone Open presented by Merrill. We are at Sunset Hills for the first time this tournament. We will be back tomorrow and then there will be a 50% cut before we return to Northwoods. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We're your two hotkeys.
Honk. Honk. It is sweltering out there. It's very sweaty. It is just kind of a test of endurance, I feel like.
Yep, but we do have a couple of 5s downs, a 6 down, Own shooting up from one of the other cards in contention for the lead in this round 2.
Wow, Holland Hanley and Stacy Ronsley
in the clubhouse, 8 down.
That's amazing.
Unreal. What's the hot rounds we've seen here in the past?
I think 9 was the best last year. I'm not sure overall.
Yeah, I knew 8 had to be pushing it. I think most of the birdies are in the front 9. The back 9, I think, plays a little tougher.
I do think it has just as many. It's just there's more potential for higher scores.
Yeah, hole 10 looks a little different from years past at 301 feet. It's slightly uphill. That tall grass on the left-hand side is new and not maintained, but not out of bounds. Most people are just going to chuck something at that willow in the middle and just hope it gets through. There's not really one good line unless you have that distance sidearm. There's more room on the left-hand side to work the disc and let it come back.
Ella choosing to go backhand here with her swirly S-line PD. Wow. And I think that's probably the best way to at least get a putt just inside of the tree, or the cleanest way, rather. Yeah. I like to go outside of the tree, but then you bring those bushes into play, and you know that you're kind of depending on some good luck.
Yeah, and even though the forehand, I think, does have the most room to work, there is a guardian tree that you can't quite see from this camera angle that makes it a little risky.
Ellen throwing her star mamba, it looks like, into circle 2. This one definitely has, I feel like, the most circle 2 looks of any of the holes we play out here at Sunset.
Yeah, 60% of the field getting to circle 2.
Oh, cool.
Almost 20 getting to circle 1. That is very surprising to me.
I feel like my probable statistic really, you just like backed it up with hard data. Here's those bushes I was talking about. Yeah, this really no look from there.
The very typical hole 10 putt right over these tall bushes.
Or sometimes you're just in them, just deep in there.
Checking them out. Gosh, so close all day, Ellen, from circle 2.
Missy coming off 4 in a row. Oh, what's a good regional bird, Madison?
Ooh.
Think about it.
The cicada.
Okay, yeah, that's a really interesting bird that sheds its exoskeleton.
They were out and about.
You don't know, we like to name 4 birdies in a row after a regional bird, but we did not prepare. Ella with her own cicada. Great putt. Missy with a little bit of a comebacker here.
Almost 20% of the field getting the birdie as well on this hole 10. That's more than we are used to seeing on this hole. Pretty awesome. But I'd still call this a bonus birdie.
Me too. Oh, yeah.
Proctor's one of the few people that the caddy bib fits appropriately. Ella Hansen going to hold on to that tie for a lead.
Hold on to that tie by moving up into it.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, hole 11. Yeah, here we go. It's 393 feet. It's downhill, but then slightly back uphill. There is an OB pond. You can see deep right. There is an OB line left as well. You see a lot of kind of straight. I feel like the release is flat, but you want it to turn. So either a hyzer flip or a straight shot that kind of drifts out to the right before coming back in. So that pond can come into play if you really get a hold of one.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of the FPO players throwing slower speed discs now on this hill because that pond does come into play now more than ever with everyone crushing.
As you say that, guess what Ella just threw?
Mid.
Yeah, C-Line MD3.
Yep.
Crazy. You know what Missy's throwing.
Thrasher dog.
Thrasher dog.
Down where the old bog used to be.
The old bog.
And now it is free and clear.
I feel like that'd be a good like dive bar name.
The old bog.
The old bog. I'd go.
I would go as well. Ooh, Ellen working that hyzer flip sidearm. Not quite getting as much distance as you need, but you'll have a very straightforward up and down for par.
Yeah, to me, kind of 10 and 11 are both bonuses. I mean, I'm really thrilled if I get one, but I'm not necessarily expecting it. Stephanie with kind of an awkward distance left here. Usually with a decent drive, you're pretty close to at least circle 2, but her approaches are so clean. She's been landing them in the bullseye all day.
Probably see another little jump putt from Ellen.
It's like a running putt.
Uh-huh. Bullseye hit for the par. Ella with a look for birdie.
And a golden sombrero. Nope. She doesn't look thrilled with the effort, but she's having a good round. Let's see if Missy can get the solo lead here.
26% of the field taking a birdie on this one, but no one on our lead card today.
26, wow.
Mm-hmm. Only a quarter of the field making it to circle 1.
Yeah, it does play a little shorter than 393, but I still think it plays probably 370.
Yeah.
Still a good rip.
I'm surprised more people, though, didn't get there. I feel like this hole we're always dealing with wind, and look how calm it is today.
That's true.
Ideal conditions.
I feel like the Jomez guys are just putting in more of these slow-mo fist bumps because I say how much I like them, and I appreciate it if that's what's happening.
And that's also how much we like the Jomez guys.
Wow, Holland Hanley moved up 19 spots and Stacy 26 spots. It's so crazy.
It's unbelievable. Hole 12. Downhill, 383 feet. I love this hole, although it is one of the scariest holes on the course. Very steeply downhill, very reachable, but there's out of bounds on the right-hand side with that water, and there's also an out of bounds green up high on the plateau on the left.
Also, just look how awkward this tee pad is. It's pressed right up against someone's yard, and we don't have a right corner of the tee pad, so it makes it pretty awkward.
Yeah, you have to do a very shorted run-up. Abbreviated is the word I wanted, but couldn't come up with. There's also that little wooden deck area that you have to throw around, so it forces you to kind of throw something that starts left and finishes right, or be aggressive and throw over the top of it, which I'm so kind of surprised we didn't see Ella do.
I can't believe you love this hole because it's the only hole, I'm not going to say hate, but that I dislike intensely on the course.
I love the risk reward.
Okay, that part's cool, I guess. I think just for my game, it's a horrible shot shape for me. Ellen coming up in the rough on the right side, but stays safe.
I don't know
why.
Ella
did go OB earlier. I feel like we failed to mention that.
I do like the risk reward on this hole.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Stephanie getting way too much turn here. But one thing I do not love is how steeply sloping the green is. I forgot to mention it in the whole preview. It is very steep and makes putting very interesting. Also, you can land one on the green and not necessarily stay even close to the basket. There is a nice little log that blocks rollaways, but I watched Katrina Allen today roll down the hill and just jump right over the log into out of bounds. So it can be mean on the screen.
Yeah, it's at least a 60-degree slope.
At least. Probably. Oh.
I love the nice little run, and you can see how the putters just want to pick up and run. She does stay close, though. Gonna take her first bogey in a minute.
Ellen also from the swamp grass with a really nice little layup to the bullseye. These guardian trees get in the way so effectively. You can see Missy having to straddle downhill out wide to get under those low-hanging crepe myrtle branches.
What tree did you just say?
Crepe myrtle.
Oh, nice.
Very common, ornamental on roadways and sidewalks.
Sure, sounds fancy though.
A lot of pars on our lead card. Only 20% of the field taking birdies here.
That's still not bad.
Not bad.
It is quite a tee shot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say luck sticking on the green, but it is very hard to hit bullseye on this one.
Yeah, it's not something you're necessarily doing purposefully, unless you take that low linear straight shot, but that is the most difficult shot.
Oh, look, Madison Walker making a guest appearance.
Came to get a disc retriever.
And for the slow motion fist bump. I'm here for it.
On the surface, Ledgstone is one of disc golf's leading retailers, but look a little closer and you'll find a group of motivated individuals providing the best possible service to the disc golf community. So whether you're building a bag, wanting to support your favorite pro, or looking to add to your disc golf wardrobe, choose Ledgstone.
Hole 13. Somewhat of an island hole, though you can choose to lay up short. There's an OB line right at this little fence area, and then now we're passing over another area, kind of, it's actually more of an island, a reverse island. There's an island of OB, okay? So you want to throw over the island of OB or lay up short. If you land in the out of bounds area, there is a drop zone at about, 60 feet, 55 feet, something like that. From the tee pad, you do, that might be out. You do end up throwing more left than you think. Like if you saw something off, it's really hard to do what Missy just did. If you saw something off left, you're like, oh man, that wasn't great. And then you're safe. And if you throw straight, you're like, oh, that's perfect. And then you're out of bounds.
Yeah, it's also, because it's uphill, you kind of want to pull out something a little bit faster, especially with that low ceiling initially. But you can easily find the OB deep as well. So it's trying to find that perfect sweet spot between a fairway driver and a distance driver.
Or a mid-range if you're Ella Hansen.
Wow.
C-line MD3.
You know if you're tickling
going deep OB.
Wow. With the mid.
Gotta throw putter. So much power. Okay, we did just get Stephanie Vincent's discless, and this is called a Nocturnal Bullet, which is an awesome name. She's going layup play. I've done this play a lot in years past. I mean, going from that drop zone sucks. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty easy par if you lay up.
This plate is the third most difficult hole of the day.
Huh.
Only 19% of the field taking birdies.
That's truly surprising.
32 taking a bogey or worse. So it sounds like a lot more people going for it this year.
That's true. There definitely used to be a high percentage of layups, and it doesn't sound like it from the statistics here. Missy from the drop zone, trying to save that par. Bummer. Is that Missy's first bogey of the round? Sure seems like it, because math.
I do believe. I
Dang.
left drawing medal, but not quite able to capitalize on the par save.
Stephanie maybe laughing at her competitors just a little bit. I'm just kidding. She's too nice for that. And Ellen with a nice chill par as well. And Ellen even gave it a run from short.
2 pars, 2 bogeys. Can't get too mad on hole 13. It is very tough, very technical.
But short enough to be mad about it.
280 seems so minuscule.
Yeah, on paper.
Owen Scoggins.
Dang, 7 down.
Wow.
In that tie for first with Missy. Sarah Hokum also moving up the leaderboard. Hole 14, it's 329 feet, though I swear it plays longer. The right side early kind of takes out the hyzer, so you're kind of throwing something that you want to flip up and drift out to the right. The OB left definitely comes into play if you throw too straight or too stable of a disc that skips left. You definitely want to get some turn on this. I swear that's always where I land, and then I'm like, 329.
Yeah.
329?
No, you definitely, it's a full distance driver rip. And I feel like the ones that I am getting inside the circle feels like I just threw a 380-foot shot.
Right.
It must be slightly uphill or something, or maybe
There's
just
something.
the pinched OB makes you feel like you can't quite open up as much as you want.
Stephanie with a good shot there with her Star Wraith. Looks like a circle 2 putt.
Only 20% of the field getting to circle 1, so stats don't lie.
Okay. Okay, so it's hard, I guess. It's surprisingly hard from what it looks like.
Yep.
This is also a really common error in Missy. Not totally flirting with that OB, but you can see how quick that it comes up on that left side.
There's some tree branches on the right side that don't allow you to just take the dummy hyzer line. You do have to throw something straight or pushing hyzer like Ella just did.
Oh,
Wow.
great break.
Wow, Ella's bullseye percentage is just skyrocketing today. She can't land anywhere but the bullseye.
What a follow flight. Look at this thing. Boop.
Yes.
What a great tree. And I think she probably still would have been near circle's edge with that skip. But it was a Meadow Flake, FD3, I think. So
Beefy.
it was probably gonna do some skipping. Just FD, sorry. Meadow Flake FD. I can read.
75% of the field getting to circle 2 in regulation. So you see a lot of circle 2 putts on hole 14, like Missy's here.
He tries to give it the old knee pop. Doesn't work. Stephanie with a long bid.
Hey.
Cans it. There we go.
Yes.
Love to see that slow Mez. And I believe that moves Stephanie back to even on the round. She's down at a tie for 16th.
A nice par save from Missy. Ellen gonna settle for par as well. Look at that streak of pars.
Yeah, not really what you want at Sunset, but again, on the
No.
back nine, like, to me, the front nine, you want to shoot like 4
Yeah.
to 6. And then on the back, it's like 1 or 2 is nice.
Yep.
You just don't want to be over.
Ella getting one right here on hole 14.
That was great reaction. Slow-mo reaction cam. Lone Scoggins solo lead right now.
Hole 15, the most difficult hole of the day. This tee shot is tough. There's a low-hanging tree branch. You have to work your way around because you need that distance in order to get to this corner to set yourself up for the second shot. That tree line on the left side is out of bounds the whole way down. And if you go out of bounds early, it can make it impossible to even get to the corner. Basically an instant bogey. So you're just trying to get something far and straight right now. Not even really try to wrap the corner. Your second shot is a tunnel shot with out of bounds again all the way down the left-hand side. So you can't get too crazy on that either.
Stephanie working the right-hand side, which is kind of the more typical play you see just because of that left side OB Mad was talking about. It's not bad over there, but the footing can be weird. You end up on a side hill a lot, and then you're kind of running up but trying to throw flat. I think Ella might be dealing with something similar.
Ellen was sacrificing distance, choosing safety, but unfortunately way too nose down. She's going to have some work to do. Still a full drive to get to the corner.
Missy with a great looking line. Needs to miss all the trees, and it does. And she's on the flat area at the top and will be able to attack for birdie from there. And she loves it. As Missy once told me, put a camera in my face and I'm going to do something weird. Ellen, still short. Is she still short of the corner?
Yeah, I think so. And
Ooh.
Stephanie wrapping really tight. It looks like she might have poked through.
I think she stayed safe.
Wow.
It's going to be awkward from there because Stephanie doesn't really throw the forehand. So we'll see what she has to work with. Ellen, ooh, it is bad over there.
Yeah, she tried to wrap the corner, doesn't turn the disc as much. That is such a hard shot, though, with how low ceiling it is. Ella also trying to do a similar shot, kind of more pinch than you want to be. And she's going to...
Pretty.
Yeah, actually, no, that worked great.
It did work great.
Wow.
It even got a fun little split the tree moment.
This is such a hard left turning angle. It's hard to tell where they are.
This is one of the more perfect drives I've seen on this hole. Still, obviously not the easiest of approach shots. It's dead straight through a tunnel. Missy flirts with the right side, but gets a friendly little kick. Oh, look how bad this is. It's impressive that she got out of there at all.
Stephanie's third shot, just a little forehand chip. Turns it over and lands safe inside the circle. She might have an obstructed putt. We'll see what she's working with.
It's a tester, but she's made quite a few at that distance so far.
There were only 6 birdies on the day today, 13% of the field. And the same percentage as how many got to circle 1. Only 23 to circle 2. This hole played tough.
I mean, you just really have to land in a very small area on your drive to be able to attack.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have to maybe throw it in on your third shot.
Did that happen to anyone today?
Yeah, I threw it in from like 150.
Yeah, honk. Stephanie going to settle for bogey here. 32% of the field taking a bogey or worse on this one. But Missy with a very easy birdie from just outside the bullseye, adding to her green on the day. What's that put her at? 6 down for the day? 5?
Math is hard, and
Yeah.
I was distracted, so I'm just going to agree with you, even if it's wrong.
We all know geese can't do math.
Yeah, I don't know why we keep trying, like
Yeah.
day in, day out.
We have small brains, no calculators, only feathers.
You ever tried to use feathers to hit calculator buttons? It's impossible. Anyway, Missy now tied for first with Owen Scoggins.
What a
with
great
that birdie.
Yeah, what a great hole to birdie to get into a tie for the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Hole 16, 352 feet, but plays like 400. The angle of this shot is very challenging. You have to throw a straight shot with a very late turn at the very end. No fade allowed. This big guardian tree in the middle is the one that stops most discs from getting all the way to the green. There's no out of bounds you have to worry about, though, so you can play really aggressive here and try to go huge and hit this impossible disc line that not many of us have mastered. If you do have the distance sidearm, that is the play for this hole.
Missy landing in a really typical spot, just pushing straight and getting a pretty long circle 2 look.
And that's pretty common here. 50% of the field getting to circle 2, only 15 getting to circle 1.
Ella a little high and early, but not terrible. There are some trees to contend with down there, but she might have even gotten to circle 2.
Yeah, I didn't mention that this green is perched on a plateau next to a huge drop-off hill, but there is no out of bounds. So if you go down there, it's not the end of the world, just a weird approach back up to the green.
This is an eternal longhorn from Stephanie. It looked like it had the right shape, but kind of needed to start it out a little bit wider to the left before working over to the right.
Eternal longhorn sounds like another horoscope that needs to be added.
I'm into it. Ellen with the same mistake that Ella made, but catches an earlier tree, just a little too high and a little too hyzered.
Oh man, that tree gets Ellen on her second shot instead of her first. She'll be in circle 2 land to save par. Stephanie again with a perfect approach right under the basket.
I really like her approach game.
Yeah.
So smooth. She's landing in the bullseye consistently. I know it's, not the best round for Stephanie and Ellen, but you're still seeing quite a few skills from them. They're just not quite putting it together like they did yesterday. Yeah, and it's just a different kind of pressure, Sunset versus Northwoods. They're almost exact opposites.
Yeah. Even though we don't see Stephanie on tour all the time, she is on tour pretty much full time this year, but she has been playing disc golf for like maybe 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah, she's been around for a long time. She's got that short game dialed.
Man, Ellen has hit metal on so many of these circle 2 putts.
The best we're going to see from our lead card is a par, pretty typical of the day on hole 16. Always one of the most challenging holes to score on.
Gosh, the more I think about the back 9, the more it's like, man, none of those even approach a gimme birdie.
No.
Like, they're all so difficult.
And hole 15, 16, and 17, especially those stacked up at the end, wow.
Yeah. Wow is right. Hole 17 is a par 4. It's 525 feet. There is a mandatory on the right. We're passing right now. You want to land somewhere around here, and then it really sets up the sidearm. You can get a backhand there, but the angle is so sharp. You really want to do a sidearm that kind of lands early on the hill and gets a skip into the circle. Common mistakes are leaving the sidearm too short on the right, or pushing too deep, and then you get no putt at all. Distance obviously helps on the drive, but the main thing I think is you want to be a little bit to the left like Missy is to kind of open up the angle. If you're pinched right, it's really tough.
You can't get super aggressive though with a hyzer angle though, because all of that tall stuff is out of bounds over there. You're definitely thinking about it when you're throwing your tee shot. Wow.
Ella just unleashing. Oh my.
Oh my gosh. That's so far.
S-line cloud breaker, approximately 500 feet.
I wish
now.
we could comment what her next shot's going to look like, but we've never been there. No one has.
Oh, I've been there on my second shot. It's awful in there, but what a cool drive.
It says 415 to the trees, but I think it's longer than that.
Those trees?
Those trees, yeah.
But she got in like this. Okay, you know what? Whatever.
I disagree with the distance as well. I think it is very long. I think it's close to 450, maybe
so
a little more
far.
than that.
Ellen with a nice smooth backhand. Gosh.
Yeah, that was smoked.
And this is such a specific sidearm. You really have to fade at the exact right moment. Ellen, you know, kind of a friendly kick, actually. If you skip straight there, it's pretty rough putting.
Yeah, definitely obstructed. She's going to have a very steep downhill circle 2 putt, though, and it's very deathy, very sketchy. If you hit cage and land, the likelihood is very high that you can roll, and that hill behind the basket goes forever.
It does. That was one of the best backhands I've seen. Like, I can't believe she just went backhand from the right side. And Stephanie gets into the gap. It's very impressive. So hard to do.
Missy leaves it a little on the short side. There's room to work over there, just not quite as open as you would like for... Oh, actually, it might have worked.
So bad in there. But she's like almost at the corner, like the far end of the trees. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I think she threw 500-ish or 475 because she just threw 20 feet. Now she's in the circle.
I agree.
And, you know, math or not, like, that's so far.
The course map says 415 to the corner tree. I just think that that's not right at all.
Okay.
I think, it's easily pushing 500.
Nuts.
Oh, Ella. Missy just lays it up.
You know Widboom's running this.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a rough couple of holes here, going double bogey. Bogey! There we go! She cans it. And look at this leaf. Oh my gosh, she hits one and still makes it. She does get a ton of spin. Leaves or no leaves. Yeah! Love it.
Glad one finally dropped for Ellen.
See if Stephanie can get a little more green. Oh, she can too. Heck yes. Love to see it. And Stephanie Vincent, I would be willing to bet the only person to get the birdie with the backhand approach on the second shot. Ella with just the silliest birdie I've seen on this hole.
It says 36. It says 36% of the field got a birdie on this hole 17. That's very surprising to me. This one, I think, plays tough, but I guess things are easy now in FPO. Hole 17's no problem.
We're seeing consistently, and we just need to accept it and stop talking about it so much. Look at this three-way tie we got going on with those birdies from Ella, and well, Missy was already there. but it doesn't matter. It's a 3-way tie, and there's 1 hole to go.
Hole 18. A huge, slightly downhill shot over this big gully area that is a golf driving range. Not a lot of stuff you have to worry about hitting on the way in. There is out of bounds on the right-hand side, though, where spectators stand, so you don't want to turn something over. We had a little bit of a head/crosswind here when my card went through.
It was a left to right for me, I remember specifically for some reason.
Yep. Forehand is a nice play here, but you're not going to get the skip up the hill before the basket. You'd have to pin it in order to get to the green. Those trees on the right-hand side just off the tee can come into play if you're trying to get a spike hyzer into the green, but like Stephanie does here, most people are going to try to throw a flex.
Yeah, and that's a pretty common mistake. Pretty short upshot, though. That's OB. Not like she didn't land OB, but there's those 2 weird little islands of OB, like those golf teeing areas,
yeah,
right?
There's greens.
Oh, okay.
Green kind of things.
I think they're teeing area. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's OB over there. Ellen with a nice flex here. I think she finds the circle. Let's see, that was another star strike. She throws those really well. Missy flipping up this thrasher nicely, getting a dead straight flight path. And I'm not sure if she landed in the circle, but she definitely has a putt.
30% of the field got to circle 1, 77 got to circle 2.
Yeah.
But listen to this. There was only 4 birdies.
No.
Yeah.
I will say there is a whole clubhouse full of people watching and maybe talking really loudly while you're trying to putt. So, like, you know, there are distractions on 18, unlike anywhere on the course. And then the fairway for 12 is also right there. So there's usually constant movement and just a lot happening.
It's funny. I got distracted on this one as
Yeah.
well.
Like, let me just think of all the excuses. I almost yelled at some people who were talking. I should have. Oh, no. Sit down.
Oh, no.
No. All right.
Okay.
That's quite a bit of work left considering Missy just hit metal. And she's trying to hang on to that 3-way tie, or at least a share of the lead moving into moving day. Ellen finding cage on her birdie bid.
Missy with quite the comeback putt here.
Oh, no, it's
prob.
not. No, it's so easy.
No prob.
So easy. You love to see it. What confidence. And to maintain a share of the lead with own.
What a strong showing from Missy today. Foot on the gas.
Yeah, shooting a 5 down overall today.
It's like the second she gets to Peoria, she just like gets superpowers. I know she always has them,
I was
but
going
like,
to say, like, it's kind of everywhere. Well, you know, Ledgstone has some good added cash, right? That's what fuels her.
big money Missy, baby.
Ellen +2 on the round, but look at that attitude. She's happy to be on lead card and will be back to fight another day, likely tomorrow.
Yeah, we have some rain in the forecast tomorrow though, so I think we're gonna see a lot more colors than we're seeing today. A lot less green.
Ella Hansen maintaining that lead as well. 6 down on the round. Owen Scoggins, Holland Hanley, and Stacey Ronsley with the hot round at 8 down. Sarah Hokum 7 down, moving into our final lead card spot.
Yep, look at all those 8s and 7s in the top 10. We have a 4, we have some 3s. Everyone's under par to be in the top 20. I don't know if we've played Sunset Hills in the rain in a long time. So.
I can't really think of a time. I was actually trying to think about it earlier.
We've gotten very lucky with weather. So I'm very curious to see how much more difficult it makes the round play tomorrow. Hopefully we just don't see any of it at all. Let's be real. Yeah.
Should be interesting, that's for sure.
That is all I have for round 2. Again, tomorrow we do have you said 50% cut?
Yeah.
In order to get back to play Northwoods for round 4. So
congratulations, you made it. Play the hardest course on tour.
So come hang out with us. Thanks to all of the Patreon subscribers. Don't forget about the new Disc Golf Network offering with JomezPro ad-free. baby. $12.99. All the Disc Golf Network offerings as well. There is a link in the comment. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb, and we're your two hot geese.
Honk.
Honk.